Thanks, Dr. Rosenfeld. So great to be here at Children's Hospital here in Goryeb, Morristown. What a privilege it is for us to be here and work with the hospital to put this special room in. And this is really our Stanley Cup. And I'd like to say that I did pick the Devils, and I thought the Stanley Cup could have been here, as we have a couple of Stanley Cup champions next to me here on the right. But this is our Stanley Cup. We do events, and we raise money, and we meet amazing people. And there's no greater, this is beyond the Stanley Cup, than seeing children smile in a hospital, a room, and a special room when they're going through difficult times, and maybe just forget about what's happening to them. And you forget that not only is it affecting that child, I find that they're also, most of the time, the strength behind the family and the siblings, everybody's affected. And I really have to reach out, and it's a team effort, and thank James Olsen and the Frozen Flashback. You guys are amazing. I'll tell you, congratulations on everything you've done, and the fact that you're marrying two of my favorite things, to build rooms and help children, and then hockey. I can't think of two more important things, but then to leave a legacy for children from a hockey game. I commend you guys. Thank you so much for what you've done. I have to thank Jerry Collegiavani also, and all of his hockey games that we've played out at the Brick. We've raised a ton of money, and two super amazing guys, Stanley Cup champions, Bruce Driver and Grant Marshall. Thanks for all your support. I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of alumni, and the Devils alumni, headed up by these guys, do some amazing work all throughout the state of New Jersey. So, you know, it's so important. Not only do they have this great hockey team here in New Jersey that's won Stanley Cups, but the fact that all those players champion the off-ice, and for the alumni to give back to these communities says a lot about the team and a lot about these players. So, guys, thanks for all your help again. And I have to thank some people who have been a big part of what we do. Cisco's a big sponsor of ours. I know some of the guys are here. Microsoft's a big sponsor. The National Hockey League helps support us in building these rooms. DuPont is another big sponsor who helps us to build and fabricate these rooms. These rooms are actually built out of Corian. They're small, 1/4 inch, the walls curve in, the tiles change colors, they're very futuristic, so when a child leaves the room it feels like they're not in a children's hospital, although this feels, with all the colors, it feels warm. You want them to feel like they've escaped what's happening to them, and through distraction, maybe just let them be a kid to communicate with the outside world, their teachers, their heroes, their friends, just maybe to ease the pain a little bit. And that's why the rooms are there. And it wasn't that long ago that we opened a room, and I met James Olsen and the guys from Del Barton down at North Carolina, and we opened a room with the National Hockey League. And there was a girl named Ashley who just came out of surgery, and she was, we just met her, and I think James would probably, the guys would probably remember meeting her. It was 2 years ago, and I just spoke with Ashley about a month ago. We did a conference in New York City, and what was wonderful about the conference was she came on this big screen, and she talked about what the Lions Den meant to her. Her sister and her would go and play games. Her teacher would come and tutor her in the room. She did dance in this room. She had a smart board. She would work on her school work. And she came on and she thanked everybody for putting a Lions Den room. And then she also said after 20 months of surgeries, chemotherapies, stem cell research, implant, she went through all of that. After 20 months, she's 8 years old now, and she's cancer-free, and she thanked the Lions Den room to have a place to go to escape. So I know what these rooms do, and I've had the privilege, Dr. Rosenfeld, on 3 occasions where doctors looked at me and said, you know what, Pat, there's no medical explanation why this child is here today. And if that's not enough motivation, I don't know what is. And so it takes a team. We're all spokes in this wheel to make a difference in children's lives. And I have 2 people here I just have to recognize because they're a big part of folks that helped me out, and I actually have my daughter here, Sarah, who wanted to come and see and be a part of this. I'm blessed that she's here and healthy. My daughter, Sarah LaFontaine. And Jim Johnson, who's our executive director, who has the same passion and love. You can't do this without a right-hand guy, a guy who can score goals too. So Jimmy Johnson, thanks for all your support. And I just leave you with one last story, is that one of my favorite openings is we opened a room in New York, and there was a mother who grabbed my arm and she started to cry, and she said, my son Connor's over there playing on one of the video games, and he's smiling, and he doesn't know he's in a children's hospital. And she's crying and grabbed my arm, and she said, you know, he presses his pain medicine every 9 minutes, and he's been in this room for 50 minutes and he hasn't pressed it once. And she said, this is the best hour of my day. And so I'm so proud on behalf of Companions and Courage to be here and to cut the ribbon and be a part of the first Lions Den here at Goryeb, and to leave a legacy from some amazing people in this state, to know that you'll have left a legacy of smiles and given a special room for kids to escape to and be kids, and not only the kids but their families. So thank you very much.